Governor Abbott is expected to give another update this week on coronavirus restrictions in Texas as he faces friendly fire from some Republicans calling on him to reopen the state. KXAN political reporter John Engel finds out how a statistic from the CDC is being taken out of context to fuel the argument.
It's not interpreted as this being a positive.
Beneath almost every social media post from Governor Greg Abbott, demands to reopen the state and drop the statewide mask mandate. Some citing a CDC bulletin that only 6% of coronavirus deaths were among patients who didn't have other health complications. It's a message Dr. Mark Casanova is hearing too often.
It's actually quite ominous that a full 6% had nothing more contributing to their loss of life than a COVID-19 infection.
CDC data tells us 60% of American adults live with a chronic disease. 40% have two or more. President Trump shared a tweet in August that said the CDC quietly updated numbers to admit only 6% of deaths were actually caused by COVID-19. It was removed for being misleading. Now Abbott faces pressure from some in the party that he leads, including the Dallas salon owner who defied his orders and is now running for Texas Senate.
Donald Trump doesn't have responsibility for conditions on the ground in Texas in the same way that the governor or the legislators do.
A recent UT Tyler poll found 71% of Texas Republicans believe the coronavirus is a major health threat. Political experts say the angst from a majority of Republicans is less about whether the virus is real and more about the toll it's taking on the state economy.
That puts Abbott in a tough position, and it puts some of the legislators in a tough position vis-a-vis Trump versus Abbott and where they locate themselves going into a very tricky election.
John Engel, KXAN News.
Among the calls to reopen Texas, some Republican state lawmakers have criticized the statewide mask mandate. In July, the director of the CDC said face coverings are one of the most powerful weapons we have to slow the spread of the virus. Since July 3rd, Austin code enforcement reports more than 1,100 complaints about people not wearing a face covering. More than 1,000 of those complaints has resulted in an inspection with no violations found. In other cases, code enforcement solves the complaint by educating the violator or refers the case to the appropriate agency.